And we are live. My name is Cipriano Ortega, and welcome once again to Sacred Voices at the Buell Media Center on the second Friday of every month. I am your host, Cipriano Ortega. Yeah, you can applaud. I saw some indication. There we go. There we go, yes. Yes, we're so happy to be here tonight. We have so many beautiful performers with us tonight. We're going to get started here. Sacred Voices, I am a board member. Sacred Voices is a nonprofit, and we'll be having a summer program coming up here soon. Aston, when is the summer program? It's is it next month? All right, sounds good. July 27th. It's on weekends as well, too. And you can find out more information about that at sacredvoices.org. And it's going to be a great program, and we're going to have a lot of different featured artists on there. And it's between for ages, is it 14 to 25. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So let's get this off started. We're going to have up our first performer, a very nice comedian by the name of Josh. Take it away, Josh.
What's up, everybody? Man, it's great to be here. I am not one of the beautiful performers that he was mentioning. So, I don't know. I just wanted to share a quick experience that I had last weekend. I was at a club with a buddy, and here's the thing. Like, I'm not good at going to clubs. Like, I don't like them. They're just not my thing. Like, I just don't know how to act like a normal person when it comes to being in a club. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any of the club etiquette. Like, it's just like, it's so uncomfortable. Like, I'm over here like I never know when I'm supposed to be dancing or anything. Like, I'm over here just doing the sprinkler, just getting the weirdest looks in the men's restroom. I'm like, ooh, fuck's this guy's problem? Goodness gracious, this is so weird. It's been a while. Guys. It's just not my thing. But I just don't like being in clubs because I'm not great at talking to women, like, at all. I'm not good at it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But it's not because, like, I'm scared or anything like that. Like, I just genuinely feel like you shouldn't ever make a habit out of, like, talking to drunk strangers. You know what I mean? Like, is that just me? Is that just me? It's like, for real. It's like, no. It's like it's like you would never in any other situation go up and talk to a drunk stranger like that. Like, I can't imagine myself, like, seeing a girl that was downing shots and twerking outside of an IHOP. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's like, I don't know. I can't knock. That's how my parents met, but yeah. It's love truly does find you. Yes, take a chance on love. But thank you, I appreciate that. No, but I don't do good with women. I do genuinely get nervous. But my buddy was cool, and we were there having a good time, and he actually wanted to start going talking to some girls, and I got nervous. I really got nervous because it's like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, what would you even do? Like, what do you say? It's like, dude, relax. You're overthinking this. You're way overthinking this. So the first thing that you have to do when you go and talk to a girl is you have to make her laugh, right? The very first thing right off the bat. And to this day, that's probably the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life. Because I went up to this girl and I started tickling her. Yeah. She did not like that even a little bit, dude. It was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Yeah. Do not get my sense of humor. Appreciate that. No, it's but I don't feel that bad about not being good at talking to women, because, like, I don't feel like women are any better at hitting on men. You know what I mean? Like I was at King Supers this morning, and this girl just drops a gem of a line on me. She's like, I'm over here just bagging my groceries, and she says to me, "He's like, wow, you're a really fast bagger." Yeah, in front of everybody. Yeah, it's like, goodness gracious, relax, lady. You're like my grandma's age. Jesus, goodness gracious. But anyways, that's been my time. My name is Joshua Olivares, and thank you very much to Sacred Voices for letting me be up here. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Josh. Always nice to have some comedy to start off the evening. You know, it must be tough for, cisgendered people to do comedy. It's I don't know. I always feel limited myself when people, just are like, girls and boys, men and women dating. I'm just like, well, I'm kind of queer. So it's like, for me, it's like, I don't really see it. So I feel sorry for straight people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I get it. I was there once before I came out of the closet. I mean, come on, we got to talk about this. It's Pride Month, right? I mean, so there's definitely some precedence to talk about those things. But, I do applaud it. I'm not dogging you at all, but it sucks, definitely, to live in those roles. I mean, I definitely look hyper masked usually, but it's kind of a joke, It's kind of like, oh, wear all leather and I'm a bad daddy, but it's not really that. It's just I like leather, I think it looks cool. So we are going to move on now to someone else. Actually, I'm also going to read, I always forget, I wanted to read our mission statement because it's very beautiful. Sacred Voices promotes unity and healing among Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC plus communities through creative expression while empowering youth to find their voice, power, and become leaders in their own communities. So that's our beautiful little statement. And thank you very much. Let's see here. So let's have Charlie up next. Can we get Charlie up here? There we are. Fantastic.
Damn. Don't mind me. Whew. I'm a little bit lost for words, not gonna lie. The last time I was up at like a Sacred Voices thing was about 2 years ago, so I'm still wrapping my head around like I'm like, damn, time really flies. Well, yeah, my name's Charlie. I'ma just spit some poetry because that's what I do. Give me a hot sec. Alright. Maybe use a prettier word than brown. I was born up in Vail but raised in Denver, where every day I was surrounded by my brown culture, my brown words, my brown music, my brown food, my brown family, and brown, where my mamá se mancha sus manos morenas con bleach y ajax hasta este día, where my pops se quebraba su espalda hasta que ya no podía caminar. When you ask me what my favorite color is, I will always say it is brown, because my heart soars when I see people who look like me make it big on the silver screen or on the political scene. When you ask me to pick a prettier word than brown, my blood boils, thinking how brown is not good enough for you, how brown is not a choice when it comes to beauty standards, how brown is just brown. Another forgotten Crayola cartridge left in the box because it's too dark, it's too dirty, it's too cafecito, it's too natural. Ruin your make-believe world of technicolor horrors. My voice carries enough brown to make your world shake and quake, porque soy moreno like a tortilla, bread on corn and flour, bringing that grainy warmth into my very soul, smelling fresh off the comal, crispy yet savory como un tamal. Soy moreno like a tortilla, where my acne scars and wrinkles are the proud scorch marks on my stretched out surface, each one reciting a story of my own pendejadas in the making as I comb my carbon smoky burnt hair. Soy moreno like a tortilla. My light complexion is thanks to my heritage, coming from a blood-soaked lineage spanning many nations, desde el Yucatán all the way to la Península Ibérica, to where I stand here in America, like my burritos de frijol. Esta extra mayonesa mexicana de limón con un poco de sal que cae de mi frente, un sabor fuerte pero suavecito. Soy moreno like a tortilla, where my brown tailored skin is the target of looks and evil eyes, as I am brown like a tortilla, where my love for my familia, for my cultura, for my roots keeps me warm in a blanket of calor y confianza that not even the coldest of shoulders and crocodile tears can even dream to penetrate, for this is my home. Sun blessed and killing it when it comes to repping that orgullo de ser mexicano. Soy moreno like a tortilla de maíz y también de harina. And don't you dare forget it. As y'all can tell, shut it. As y'all can tell, I'm a little bit rusty. Like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I was like opening up with that one, like wherever I like go, like as my go-to. There we go, words. I swear I know a lot of languages, so it sometimes gets confusing up here, but yes. So honestly, but yeah, since I made it back to like a mic stand, I decided to make a couple new ones too that I've never have like performed before. So y'all gonna be the first crowd. So hopefully they rock. Cause if not, I'm world premiere. Cause if they don't rock, well, oh well. But yeah. Let's see where this goes. Wait, hold up. Ah, nice save. Thank you, me. Hold up. All right. I'm as patriotic as they come, where I bleed for my own ideals and beliefs against a tyrannical, capitalistic, inbred oligarchy that spans from sea to shining sea, where I'm expected to bow my head to void-filled blue eyes as they try to come and suck me dry, painting the walls of our jail cells with my habanero rich-filled sangre mexicana, failing to whitewash my morenito brown sugar silk skin. Today I celebrate the fact this great nation keeps on leeching its existence off the backs of brown black bodies that quickly forcibly name as nobodies, unless it's an easily digestible household name that doesn't ruin the gilded star-spangled fame that comes from chanting USA, USA, USA. I cry loudly, not silently, because if you add all those moments of silence, we would never speak again for the amount of voices that have been ripped out of existence, because it's more pertinent to keep the status quo. It's more profitable to lay low, to not disturb the money flow. It's too much work to fix the cracks instead of filling them in with more lies and falsehoods spoken from false idols. It's more logical to let undesirables die before they get radicalized. I raise my smoky brown obsidian glass voice where 22 will never be heard from again. Leila Salazar, presente. McKenna Lee Elrod, presente. Miranda Mathis, presente. Nevea Bravo, presente. Jose Manuel Flores Jr., presente. Javier López, presente. Tez Marie Mata, presente. Rogelio Torres, presente. Eliana Eli Amaya García, presente. Eliana A. Torres, presente. Anabel Guadalupe Rodríguez, presente. Jackie Carraces, wow, this shiny light's really fucking with me, but hey, presente. Usigea García, presente. Jace Carmelo Luvanos, presente. Maite Luliana Rodríguez, presente. Jayla Nicole Silguero, presente. Irma García, presente. Eva Mireles, presente. Amiri Joe Garza, presente. Alejandría Lexi Anilla Rubio, presente. Alicea Ramírez, presente. I am as patriotic as they come, where I bleed for my own ideals and beliefs against a tyrannical, capitalistic, inbred oligarchy that spans from sea to shining sea. Or I'm expected to bow my head to void-filled blue eyes as they try to come and suck me dry, painting the walls of our jail cells with my habanero-rich sangre mexicana, failing to whitewash my morenito brown sugar silk skin. Today I celebrate the fact this great nation keeps leeching its existence off the backs of brown black bodies that are quickly forcibly named as nobodies, unless it's easily digestible household names that don't ruin the gilded star-spangled fame that comes from chanting USA, USA, USA. I talk a lot if y'all haven't noticed. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I like the number 3. So y'all cool if I do one more? Okay, word. So I recently had a little heartbreak episode of myself. And I usually kind of don't like to go into the lovey-dovey spectrum of my emotions. Like I usually am like, for the raza and stuff like that. But hey, might as well experiment, right? There we go. Exactly. Yeah, it's a romance language. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Hopefully I don't start crying after this. Well, anyway. I love it when I can say I love you but hear nothing but silence. I love it when I can bend backwards and forwards to try to make you happy, but I'm left in the dark as you shine bright while I stay huddled tight alone in a reality I try not to believe in. I love it when I can text you and be left on read. I love it when I see you peeping my social media accounts and yet not a single word comes from your mouth. I love the pain my smile brings me as I try to talk, but you start to hang up rather than let the calls drop like they used to. I love it that you forget about me so easily from what I can see. I love it that you seem to be happy with creeps stalking and treating you like a piece of meat. I love it I'm not a part of your world as I thought you were in mine. Where you don't want others to think too differently about you when they see you talking to me, where you can point fingers so quickly as to why I do certain things that I do, where I swallow each bullet you shoot at me from day one, blaming your craziness, but it's not just that. It's a part of your heart deep down inside you. I love you, and I hope you find somebody who loves you the same way. I hope you find someone who you feel the same way towards, where you don't feel ashamed of being seen with, where he hopefully isn't broke because that's a turnoff for you, where he disrespects you day and night. I hope you find that shitty type of love because I guess mine's just too good for you. I'm gonna just end it there.
Much. Thank you so much for that. That was fantastic. Yeah, I tell you, love is a burning thing. It's quite a thing. It's that was a lot to unpack what you said, and it's a beautiful thing that you did all that. Charlie, right? Yeah, that's good. It's funny when people say that. When you do something there's a lot to unpack there. It's like there really isn't. I think everything came across beautifully, and it was so inspirational that I decided to share one of my own because I liked the piece that you opened with Brown, and I always think about the similar thing too. So this one I worked on not too long ago is called Brown Loneliness. Brown loneliness, not quite black, not quite white. Brown loneliness, like the mud of your shoe. Scrape it off, let it stew. It's mellow as earth, but sharp as a knife. It has no choice but to take your strife. Brown loneliness. Spanish horse trampled upon me, took my mother away from me. Brown loneliness. I picture grapes, apples too, fought a war in Korea, just for you. Brown loneliness. I once had a name, but now I can't speak it. It was killed in shame. Brown loneliness. It's different from you, stuck in the middle, displayed in the zoo. Brown loneliness. Like clay and dirt, I shake off the hurt. Thank you very much. All right, let's get someone else up on here on the microphone. CL Fundal, do you wanna sing us a couple things? All right. Now we got some music. We've got a very nice, diverse evening tonight. Comedy, poetry, and wonderful music. Versatility.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is high. I am CL Fondal. I am a singer, songwriter, producer. So I wanted to share some of my music with you to make sure he's ready. You ready to go? Be doing for you. You guys might recognize this one. It's one of my favorite karaoke songs. So if you know it, I want you to sing with me, okay? All right. Hit it. Yeah. In darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never wanna leave. Huh. Fingers trace your every outline. Oh yeah, yeah. Paint a picture with my hand. Oh, back and forth we swing like branches in a storm. Change the weather, still together when it is. Hey, that may be all I need. In darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never wanna leave. Hey, ba-da-ba, 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 ba-da-ba. Oh yeah, your stations get so crazy, living like it's hard to do. Sunday morning, rain is falling, and I'm calling out to you. Singing Sunday, it would lead me back to you. Yeah, find a way to find myself back home to you. I may not know, that may be all I need. And darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning. Driving slow. Oh yeah, yeah. 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 I'm sour in the head. I'm sour in the head. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Woo. Hey, hey, hey. I'm a flower, I'm a flower, I'm a flower, yeah. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! Oh, hey, hey. All right. Do I have time for one more? Yeah. All right. You sure? I'm just kidding. Yeah, so this last one is an original. It's the newest one that I made. And it's called Recognize, and it's basically telling people how you deserve to be treated and how you wanted to be treated. So, hit it, maestro. Hey! 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 You left me on red one too many times. Your favorite excuse is that you're always on your grind. That's fine, but don't be surprised if I don't pick up my line. I'm not no average jumper. My loyalty goes with a cost. Not sure what they told you, but you're dealing with a boss. You were no show. Once again, the first time I was understanding what games are you playing. I value my time, that's why I'm stepping. It's my world, not yours. I know I deserve more. Dealing with you has become a chore. I don't have the time no more. You need to recognize that you got a prize. Stop with the lies, cause I'm hypnotized. You need to recognize that you got a prize. Stop with the lies, cause I'm hypnotized. You come around when you need something. Money, food, or sex, please stop front. Go ask him or your cousin. Your life is amounting to nothing. You make me so frustrated. Now you want to debate it. You like to stay faded. You are clearly overrated. You need to recognize that you got a prize. stop with the lies, cause I'm cutting ties. You need to recognize that you got a prize. There's no compromise, you don't wanna try. You need to recognize that you got a prize. More lows and highs, I'm not gonna cry. You need to recognize that you got a prize. I can't stand the lies, I'm saying bye-bye. I'm not no average jumper. My loyalty cause we're the cause. Not sure what they told you, but you're dealing with the boss. I said what I said, now show respect. Ain't no use in getting all upset. I wonder why we had ever met. I promise I won't have no regret. You need to recognize that you come on. You need to recognize that you got a prize. You need to recognize that you got a prize. You need to recognize that you got a prize. You need to recognize that you got a prize. You need to recognize. All right. I am, Lord have mercy, I'm CL Fondal. Look me up on Instagram, CL_FONDAL. All right.
All righty. Yeah, see, you're a pro. I was about to say, give us your socials, and you did, so I didn't even have to mention it. But that goes for anybody else, too. If you forgot to say your socials, find me or Aston at the end of the show, and then once we do, this is finished premiering live, we can add in those later, post, as they say. So, yeah, one more time for everybody, but especially the last performer, CL Fondal, everybody. Fantastic. You know, that's why we call it Sacred Voices, and we do this open mics, is because, you know, I write a lot about, in all my work as a musician and as a poet and as an artist, just the suppression of capitalism. You know, you hear that so much, but it's embedded in us so much, and I just love music because it's literally a way to hear your voice just to excel beyond all that. And the last song you sang, too, really is a mantra we should all tell ourselves, because we really do forget that we need to demand how we got to be treated, especially of people of color as well, too. So definitely. All right, so Roland, you want to come up and share some poetry? Or I think you're doing some poetry, yeah.
Let the heartache and pain begin. Anger and sorrow will always be with me tomorrow. Born right or wrong, we all belong. In DNA, work or play, we are born with personality, life's reality, as we change into a character. But now we are only the director. If life is living, we have to take the steps to be forgiving. We can give and take when we are awake, yet in our mind it is hard to find the keys to unwind. Shaking and waking, we are part of the making in the world culture. In a world of war or peace, in time to release. Searching for a star, imagine how far we are. Be aware we have to share moments and hours with the seed, weeds, and flowers. Trees and the bees, the good and the bad, happy and sad. Even mothers or dads. Our primary caregivers have the functional, dysfunctional behavior. Keys to deliver. Feelings warm or cold, in slivers or rivers to a child to nurture in a functional, fractal, dysfunctional nature of human species, with a heart in a rhythm, a beat to complete and repeat night and day. The sun is needed, repeated, to give as we live, sunny or shady, by a pool to be cool, as everyone and every living thing, we stand and we sing. Let there be a ring of concern as we all learn. Now the spirit goes up and goes down as we stand or sit on the ground. Lost or found, we have to understand that we all belong until the day of our death, when we will stop taking our breath. 3 feet under, yet ground can still feel the thunder. A rainbow will show how little we know. Not in our wild imagination or frustration, but in a brilliant sensation. This is in a world appearance and disappearance effects of the sunlight without a fight as the world looks so bright. We take it for granted, just like a woman as a wife, the same as a man trying to understand how life is a master plan. Big or small, short or tall, square or in a ball. It is a particle trace in a matter-evolving space. How long did it take when we were awake to give and take a vital subsistence for existence with the pleasure or pain and what is in life's personal treasure we gain? Stand up or insane with plenty of credit and more to blame. Life is not perfect as we choose and select leaders we elect or the elite powers select, taking the elite authorities with the political majorities against the fighting minorities without seniorities. Glory be to the honeybees, he or she that raised me and others. We needed the lovers under the covers. Life is not easy, functional in some ways, sleazy, but in some of the sweat and regret, how we undress and we bless ourselves and others as we hold and release them. With great mothers and good dads, our family was raised with good moral and work ethics after World War II. I am a 2017 graduate of CCA, Community College of Aurora, Colorado Film School, with an associate's degree in directing and writing, and now back to school for creative writing. Community College gave me a 50% senior discount and Pell Grants, and I graduated with no debt. Today I'm privileged to say I am a poet and a writer able to use Denver Community Media Studios with a teleprompter for my writings and show. My show is who?are you.media. My decision to go back to school happened because of our grandparents' valued education, and our parents did not let us quit. Taking care of parents in union with the whole family at their home gave me time to read and write. Stephen Covey's book helped me understand the 7 habits of highly effective people and the 8th habit that helped me go back to school, to find your voice and help others find theirs. My dad gave us a trade, and my mothers gave us the key to everything else. My mother and grandmother were the hardest working people I've ever seen. I worked the fields around Brighton, Colorado for 8 years with my mother, from 1947 to 1955, because our father was going through a nervous breakdown, but doing the best he could. Our mother said she never could have done it without our dad. And she was right in more ways than one. Dad learned the drywall trade and taught it to his 7 boys. I paid off my house, car, and truck in 5 years in the 60s. Not bragging, because brick houses were selling for $10,000 to $13,000. North Glen, and I paid $6,000 for mine used. Dad kicked our ass as we were growing up, and being the second stubborn one in the family, I grew up with a chip on my shoulder. I thank him for the get up and go as I put on a show. Mother created the functional family with her unconditional love every day in every way. Mother's caring and love's blessing was her flower dressing, and all she wanted was flowers. Was flowers. What a woman. I am a mother's boy, and I know it. One day I told my mom I would go fight the devil in hell for her, and she said, "Oh no, son, that's not how you do it." And I asked, "How?" Mom said, "You do not tempt the devil." I am happy today because we are the children of an angel, Angelita. Our dad blessed the family when he found her. Mom was strong, moral caring and sharing, 10 children in 20 years with a hard man that finally shared his command. Our dad thought of leaving family for a rich woman, but Mom put him straight on the plate, and he stayed to enjoy our family. We are a strong family because of a strong woman. More than a man, she was in command. Hey, hey!
Yeah, that was very beautiful, Roland. Thank you very much. Boy, that's there's a lot right there. There's a lot to this whole performance. Everybody here tonight. Yeah, wow. A lot of connections to my grandfather as well too. My grandfather was a migrant worker, picking apples in Washington D.C. or Washington area, and a lot of the stories and things you said I could really relate to. As a Latino, as a Mexican American, and I just want to take note that I'm glad that you're here and still sharing that history and stepping up to the microphone and sharing it, because your strifes and hardships are something that we can't conceive of in the time periods that you grew up in. My grandfather fought in the Korean War as well too. He did not quite old enough for World War II, but certainly old enough for the Korean War, and now we're in another war. It's in a different stage in a different way, but yes, thank you very much, Roland, for that. I appreciate that. That's why we do this. How old are you, if I may ask?
Born in 1941 when the war started.
1941.
Depression ended.
Wow.
Going to be 81.
81. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. I think we just have our featured performer. I don't think anybody else out there is performing tonight. Am I correct? Am I not stepping on anybody's toes? I think so. Great, fantastic. Well, without further ado, yeah, take it away.
All right. Hi, y'all. Okay, so tonight is kind of like a journey into self-discovery and me talking my so bear with me. All right. As I get older and my standards for changes, when I tell someone, like an ex, no, you can't come back into this body, they don't know what to do with themselves. So used to having me at their call, literally, anytime they wanted me. Wanted this, wanted my body, and for me to shut up, I would have obliged. Thankful they wanted even part of what I had to offer. But after my last separation with someone 15 years my senior, after realizing the casual nature of our relationship didn't work for me, they told me, voice placating, a tone that said this was a careful routine they dare not break. I'm sorry. I just can't openly be with someone so young. The heartbreak passed, the fog cleared, the realization that I have never been loved right hit me, and the celibacy I had been hosting said it was tired of being dry, so I got back into it. Only this time, I am pickier than a privileged child at the dinner table. Stopped apologizing for things I could not change. Grew in size so I could be thick enough to take up all the space I never felt worthy of when I was in your arms. So, when another stunning, yet older, yet non-committal ass human I was making conversation with asked me how old I was, I told them, unapologetically. They said, we can still but I can never take you home to my mother. And I responded, with all due respect, you and your stank-ass attitude, and your mama too. I am tired of the fact that an abundance of people see me as good enough to bend over, but never good enough to care for. Never good enough to text back unless it's 2 a.m. or an emergency, or never being invited to a birthday gathering with your people, but you still expect this gift? Out of here with that noise. White noise that drowns out the fact that there are people who worship this body, who want to receive absolutely everything it has to give, and who fights to care for me. I wish all my exes well. I wish them peace and partners that they treat better than they ever treated me. I just know I won't be there to witness the growth. I'll be too busy with the people that are building temples in my name. And then this one is called Psalms from the Devil, and bear with me. 1. I am reading my cards after not being able to sleep again. Too anxious about therapy the next morning and failing a job interview, or debating whether or not I should shave before my next date. I mean, we are gay after all. For the third time that week, the devil appears in my bedroom. The card looks at me with all its malice, all its ill-intentioned goodness, and tells me, surprisingly, there's something in my life that needs to be fixed. Says, I know we have had our differences in the past, but I come to you with all my earth energy and beg you to ground yourself before you get all swept up in my temptation. 2. Says, but if you want to, get all swept up in my temptation. All this sexual ambition and power, you know how you feel about power. The devil says, I really didn't intend to come here and seduce you. But goddamn if you don't look good in that shade of vulnerability. In that shade of letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. 3. The devil is a white man. Of course. The only kind of person that has repeatedly ruined my life is here in blueprint form, and when he appears, he doesn't show up in his horned, brimstone-skinned self. He shows up in my mind's eye as someone who looks an awful lot like George Clooney. Too attractive not to be noticed, but there's something unsettling about that beauty. Something not quite right with his predatory smile and those green eyes that seem to catch everything. And yes, the devil does have green eyes. And a high bun and a bomber jacket and Doc Martens. The devil think he cute or whatever. But he is right. My life is one big heat of stagnancy, of take, of preserve just in case for. This body don't know forgiveness for others, but especially not itself. It does no chase, but understand as much as I want you to love me, as much as I want to love myself, I will not beg for that love from anyone. Devil says we can change that. We can put that pretty mouth and powerful manifestation energy to use. Don't you need to feel useful? To feel like that everything isn't crumbling around you, but baby girl, you and I both know how well you understand that feeling. Give in to me. I bring you promises of lust. All the intimacy you've been seeking in women who don't care for you is something I can fix. Just let go and let me. Just let go and let me. Just let go and let me. Just let go. And I can no longer tell my voice from his. 5. The volume on life is turned up and everything is loud. I wonder what spiritual scrubbing I'll need to do to get him out, but no, spring cleaning ain't got shit on this full psychic detox 6. Before I scrub him from memory and put the deck away for a while, he says again that I really didn't intend to come here and seduce you, but you were much harder to break than I gave you credit for. Says maybe you will survive this, survive me, but I'm known to be persistent. When you want a little more take, come find me. You know my numbers. Thank you. And then this one is called To the Contents of My Medicine Cabinet. My lovely Adderall. Even though you and I are still at the beginning stages of our relationship, you are the reason I wake up in the morning. You strong arm fatigue away. The type that would have kept me in bed till my baby brother poked me, checking for signs of life. You give me clarity like that psychic last week promised she would, and an ability to focus like I have never had before. So I promise, even when my heavily hyperactive yet purposefully undiagnosed mother steals you, I will always steal you back. In this life, there must always be balance. Always angel and devil, always yin and yang, sun and moon, and in my case, uppers with downers. My girl Lyrica is a thick bitch. All soft spot and warmth, she feels like coming home. And home feels slightly fuzzy around the corners, but still clear enough to remember how to miss you when you stop occupying the space. Lyrica does not, unlike the commercials say, take away any pain. So your stoned ass will not become a suburban white woman wearing a pink cardigan, frolicking in a lavender field with your 2 children. Manage your expectations. Lyrica is nothing but a buffer between myself and the pain, and the way a bulletproof vest will diffuse the impact to keep you from dying, but goddamn if being shot at don't hurt. But so long as I don't look up the chemical compounds to see what is really in this magic pill, I will always be Lucy in the sky with cubic zirconia. Because even in my highest fantasy, I know I'm not privileged enough to see any diamonds in this lifetime. Lithium is like the creepy yet still super rich uncle in charge of your inheritance. You don't want to be around him at all, while in the same breath you are uncertain if you will have a future if he revokes himself. Lithium is the incredibly unsexy, yet very necessary floaties you put on before you jump into a pool. Because as much as you wish your mother would have taught you how to swim, floaties give you the freedom to sit in the deep end without being pulled under, and there are a few left over. I do not know if I will ever pull them for their shells long enough to expose them. It's a fear of being shamed for being over-medicated, anxiety that my meds will be taken away if my providers ever hear how lax I pretend to be about them, and a newfound understanding that I don't owe you any more insight into this body than what I have already given you. So for now, I will sit in my pill-induced sense of clarity until those same doctors that are failing at playing God actually find something to remedy this dysfunction. This body will always be heavy, but this heart and spirit will recover eventually, so long as they remember the times before where it didn't used to be like this. But right now, these particular pieces of myself require all the support the pills cannot provide, and I do not know how to tell them that despite my best efforts, my floaties popped in the deep end long ago. So I've got 2 more poems for y'all. So this one is called Mac. It's a bit of a breakup poem, but it's okay. We gonna roll with it. On the night I am broken up with for the first time ever, I tell my mom. She pauses, snarls her lip, cranes her neck in a way only an indignant black woman can, and says, with all the fire of her zodiac, "Who would break up with you?" That'd be like breaking up with me. And that, daughter, simply doesn't happen. And any other time, I would have told her that, not the proper response, but the weight of my newly sacked and bleeding heart stopped me from saying anything other than, with pure certainty and absolute avoidance, "You damn right." See, for all my mother's fire, my Aquarian ass is flighty and actually runs from the pain. So instead of taking any bit of the responsibility I know is due, I will instead self-care my ass into the ground before I let her know how much I will miss her gravitational pull in my universe. I will find a new way to come back Earthside. I always do. But that doesn't take away how, in this moment, I'm uncertain with how I will cope with not touching her as I wake up. Her shoulders, waist, and curve of her mouth are all ingrained in memory, and I'm uncertain how to reset this particular hard drive. My therapist tells me to be gentle with myself. Says, "When you're ready to stop avoiding the hurt, let me know and I'll be there for you." And I responded, "Thank you." When piggies and fuchsia tutus fly past my window and offer me a shot of espresso, I will make that appointment, Sarah. But for right now, I will continue to exist in my own state of faultlessness in my bad bitch fantasy. This is where I belong, not thinking about how much I must have hurt her when I did that. Or wanting to protect the heart she rightfully snatched away from me. I will not chase her, though. I know for a fact she will not chase me back. The cards say I'm in a period of intense transformation and rebirth. The tower is cracking in half. Will soon crumble to leave room for previously stumped growth. My mom's boyfriend says when you go through something that breaks you, you become a new person. But that transition ain't easy, he says, mouth quirked downwards. You can still feel your old self dying for that person, but ignore that summons and you will thank me later. I know I will emerge from this heartbreak a shinier and more whole version of myself, but goddamn if this don't feel like penance. For now, I will relocate my heart from my sleeve and sew it close to my chest. But no, this is not forever. The bad bitch will be back soon enough. I am just allowing myself to miss her. God knows I'll be okay. Thank you. And then, thank y'all so much for coming out, for watching. My final piece is called Keeping Up with the Upkeep. Ever since I began dating, I waved the sash of low maintenance around like a clean STD test. I used to require less effort than an STD test than I still do in my friendships. It isn't uncommon for us to go weeks without talking, picking back up like an old forgotten two-step. The rhythm of our love is effortless, is sweet. When it comes to my partners, I have found that as I get older, the title of low maintenance, much like a size 8, no longer fits this body. I need all the attention. I need you to tell me that you love me whenever the remembrance of my existence on this earth crosses that gorgeous mind you possess. I need you to touch me, frequently. Touch me like I am every metaphor for perfection you've ever needed, and it don't have to be sexual. Put your hand on my thigh as in front of my mom as you were absent-mindedly scrolling through your phone after dinner. Caress my back as you move past me. Kiss me whenever I'm wearing your favorite shade of my least favorite lipstick, and yes, I'm one of those. It's a fucked up funny in a filthy joke kind of way because up until a couple years ago, touch was a brand of agony I just couldn't justify. This body has an 11-letter disease that makes everything painful, and when I say everything, I mean showering, clothing, the wind being too optimistic in its greeting towards me. So when the pandemic hit and this body only had to work on staying alive long enough to see this thing break somewhere, this vessel began to crave the hands of another all on this flesh. How do you say, baby, I grew in size just so you would have more of me to touch without sounding like you're trying too hard? How do you say I want to worship those nimble fingers, the ones that know exactly what they are doing, and I will happily beg them to do it again and again and again? I need intimacy. Not just lust, but infatuation. The kind of adoration where we look at each other and just start laughing because it makes no sense that the universe would just drop you in my lap even though that bitch owes me an eternity of favors. Know me. Know me like you know what them hands do. Like you know the difference between stratus and nimbus clouds. Know me heavy and deep. And for me, none of that falls under the umbrella of minimal upkeep. So I will continue to search for the people that find it a privilege to love me how I crave to be loved. And I always offer the same to you in return. I vow to give you what you need as best as I can. So how about we try too hard together? How about we hold each other up after we confess our feelings under the influence of too many edibles and a dopamine rush? Gorgeous. I promise this is just the start. Love me hard, and I will love you abundantly. Thank y'all so much.
All right, all right, all right. Wow, we'll give it up again for Mahogany, everybody. My goodness, yeah, come back up on here. I got a couple questions for you. Well, first off, the thing I liked the most was the sex positivity.
Oh, yeah.
I very much enjoyed that. I gotta make sure I'm in camera. There we go. But yeah, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of it was. I like the talking about the medications as well too, and personalizing those because we all know, or we are one of those people that deals with such pharmaceuticals on a daily basis. That was fantastic. All of it.
you.
Yeah. For lack of better questions, because I can't really fathom a better, more executed one. What inspires you? What moves you? What drives you to pick up the pen or use your thumbs? However you get it out of you, what expels it from you? What makes you want to do this and get up here and share your beautiful insights?
I guess, I don't know. What really spurs it is my life experiences. Like, that's how I process things. So, like, if an event happens, I'm like, oh, okay, therapy, and I need to write a poem about it. Like, that's it. That's the non-negotiable. And so I really do want to project the experience, the sex positive experience, the queer, the Black, the disabled experience, because I have so many intersections in me, and I know that there are so many different intersections out there, and I would love to be able to relate at least a little bit to them all. So
Yeah, I think that's a really very professional thing to say in terms of a writer, because I'm a writer myself and an artist, and that's really what it is. It stems from all of our personal experiences and why we do what we do, all of us tonight, coming out and creating and expressing these things. So, keep it up, everybody. And I really do mean that. I think it's a great thing. Yeah. So anything else you'd like to say before we finish out the show? Any message you want to send out to? I like to do this too. If there's any if there's a young poet out there that wanted to ask you, or what would you like to tell them, I should say, in terms of inspiration? Words of wisdom, I guess.
Take up all the space you don't feel like you're worthy of. Take it up anyway. Because one day you will look up and you will realize, oh, this has always been mine. This is mine to create and mold and shape, and realize that you are so much more powerful than you feel.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you.
And before I forget, too, what are your socials so everybody can find you on social
Oh,
media?
hey. Okay, so I'm only on Instagram, Writer Y. Writer Y. Like, what? The question.
Sounds good. Yeah, Writer Y.
Writer Y, yes.
Sounds good. Yeah, so that's their social, and we'll also add it into the captions as well, too, at the end. So, yeah, thank you. One more time for Mahogany, everybody. And everybody tonight. All right, yes. Before I forget, I just wanted to sign off and say thank you to everybody out there who's watching. I just want to thank you all very much out there. And good night. Good night. Thank you so much.